like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Malala has created such a huge change to this world and even to a specific country. How and why? Only these people. Why aren't it an average person? Why aren't even you? And why only them? And they are also human, you are also human. They are having the same ability as you are having. But still, what's that thing which differentiates them from you? Those greatest leader of all time. Take the example of Gandhi. How many decades it has been since the day he has died? But still, people remember him, people admire him, people respect him. And take the example of any leader, greatest leader of all time. Steve Jobs, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Malala, Elon Musk, anybody. How massive change they have created. Aren't you having that ability? Aren't the idea which they have come up with, aren't you ever have come up with those? What happened to those ideas? What happened to those things that by that idea, how much revenue, how much greatest change you must create from that idea? What happened to them? And what's the thing which differentiated them from you? So yes, in this video, I'll actually gonna tell you what's that secret of the greatest leader of all time. What's the reason how Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Mahatma Gandhi, Malala, Martin Luther King has done something with anybody ever in the history once had that courage to do it, or nothing much. It's just about how they create their decision. Leaders just create their decision based on their vision. That's why you must have seen that leaders are futuristic. Leaders usually visualize. And that's why they're very visionary and futuristic. But a normal human being, an average person, creates this decision based on his or her current situation, current circumstances. And that's why you must have seen lots of time that you must have related this topic that, hey, an average person saying, hey, I can't do this because I don't have efficient money. I can't do this because I don't look good. Like any excuse that person is taking just because of his current situation, financial, health, whatsoever. I can't do this because I have such a big belly. I'm overweighted. I can't do this. Not visionary. And I'm talking about a very minimum thing. You can imagine it. If a person is creating excuses and the small thing and just focusing on his or her current circumstance, you can imagine that person's future. But leaders aren't like that. And leaders, I'm not talking about that, hey, Mahatma Gandhi, leaders like who just simply come from rich family and they're saying that, hey, I can do everything. No. They're really great leaders, great millionaires, great multimillionaires. They are C-suite people. There are so many CEO founders who come from very poor family. But since childhood, they had this thing in mind. They were very futuristic. They visualized their future. And they took decision likewise it only. You can take the example of anything. There are so many, like there were a kid who helped his father in business of making namkeen at the age of 9, 11, 12. And slowly, he had the dream that he wants to make it number one. And likewise, he just grew and now he's at the C-suite position. He's doing really crores of revenue from it. And it's also one of the best, liked, and famous one, namkeen. And like there's so many are there. But the thing which is there is that a normal human being just focus on his current situation. Likewise, likewise in your surrounding, you must have noticed. People are saying, people are making excuses regarding it and not taking the decision. Leaders aren't like that. Leaders are futuristic. Leaders are visionary. Leaders have that vision in their mind. So that's why they know what to do. That's why, likewise, they take that decision. And that's what's the thing. And even then you might say to me that, hey, okay, that's what's the thing. But what the proof is there and how it actually looks like in real life. Why? Because when you just say that, hey, this is a thing, it seems like very artificial or something like it. Then let me just tell you how strong bravery part it is. Let's just go in times of Gandhi. Not in times when he was having such a power, but when he was such a normal, regular guy. Like he was not like say famous, like regular guy, like everybody. Just imagine a situation, you just went to that time and you're also there. One day you had a Gandhi, then Gandhi says to you that, hey, I want to make India achieve that freedom. I want to make an India achieve that freedom. Imagine you are under the rule of somebody and it's really very normal that if any person is dying, daily thousands of people are dying. You're having such a huge punishment for every bad thing. And nobody will care if you will die. At that point, that person is saying, I want to make India achieve that freedom. Imagine. What will you say? Of course. You know what? The saying has been true. Most of the people will come laugh at him. Most of the people will come discourage him. Most of the people will come and say, hey, please don't do like it. We are in danger. And lots of people will also be the person like, they will just completely just be the person like break that relation with that person because it's dangerous for them. And even at that point also, when he said to people, his relatives, his close friends, and lots of people like them just broke the relation with them and also discouraged him and say it's impossible. But you know the results, and it's really a thing which to be appreciated. And that's what's the power. And even when you take the example of that touchscreen phone, which Apple has launched with a greater quality and so on thing. Before people used to say that, hey, it's impossible. How you can just touch screen and do everything? Impossible. It was even impossible that, hey, you can call to somebody from you're in India and you can call to somebody in Australia. It's impossible. Such a long distance. But you know, and it even seems very impossible that, hey, how you can do it? Technology is another thing. People do not understand. It seems like impossible. How you can call? You have to go personally if you want to ask anything or whatever. I have to give a particular, like in the form of letter or something like that. But you know the results. And even it was also impossible that, hey, you will say anything to your device and your device will listen to you. It was also impossible that your device, you will say something to your device and it will automatically on the fan, off the fan, and do those all things. And it was also impossible that robot will serve you the food. Robot will teach. And you know the result. It was also impossible at the time that there would be a driverless car, but the car will be still driving, following the older rules. And also the slave drive would be there. And it was also impossible that there would be a time where there will be no petrol or diesel would be used in cars, only electricity and those old things would be there. But you know the result. Even when Malala took the ride, Malala stand for those girls' education. At the point it was very harsh time going. Nobody can do anything. Because culture has been created like, no, girls should not be educated. Nobody was supporting. But she stood and now you know the results. And that's what's the thing they have. And you know, just because of that simple idea which clicked in their mind, hey, just imagine you're at the situation of Gandhi, at the point when the British are ruling you. And you're thinking that, hey, why don't we get a freedom from them? It's a very normal thought. Why don't we have a driverless car? It's a problem and it's a great solution for it. And girls are not being educated. Nobody's allowing them. They're being bullied or whatsoever. Why not? Girls should be educated. It's a very small thought, but it's create a really very huge difference in terms of money, in terms of change in world environment, and that's what's the thing. But aren't these ideas come to you? The answer is they do. But then you might say to me that, hey, no, I couldn't agree. They didn't come to me like this, like such a big ideas, iPhone. Oh no, it doesn't come to them, me. And let me just tell you what's the thing here. You know what? Any idea, when it comes to you, you just kill it before it's born. You just kill it before it's born. Let's take a very similar example. When you were in school, lots of the time this situation would have happened with you. That you're in the class, teacher asked you to ask a whole class to answer a particular thing. You know the answer, but you are having that insecurity that, hey, what if this answer would be wrong? You're having that fear inside of you, and that's why you didn't tell. You know you revised yesterday itself, but still you didn't tell. But when our teacher announced the result, the teacher announced the answer, or anybody else answered it, it was correct. And most of the time this situation happened with you. You didn't answer it. And that's very similar to this thing. You just kill the thing before even it's born clearly. And you build more insecurity. You just bulb up with some idea, you think, hey, why do this? Let's focus on the system which is going. Let's focus on the school only, which is made to just put us from poverty to survival mode. Why do you go to success and significance? Just follow that corporate radar and struggle entire life. Just that. Whenever an idea bulks on you, you'll be like, no, it's too risky. I'm not having that confidence for it. I'm not having that courage for it. And that's what's the thing which you need to understand. You need to understand if you want to create that massive change. It's all about with the perspective you see an idea. And that's what. With the kind of perspective, what's that word? Perspective you will see, that much great amount of result it will create. You can see in your whole entire surrounding what's going on. Such a massive results are coming. Just from an idea which you also can bulb up with. But here's the problem which comes. But still, thing doesn't end here. Still there's a huge problem. You know what? After this, people start this journey of them. They just build a bit confidence. They have that desire to do that. They'll start, but they stop, or they have to stop just because of this excuse that they're not having great financial condition. They're not having great relatives, neighbors, surrounding, parents, family members, or house. They're not going to great school, or like these kind of things which happens to a person. They take it as an excuse and they just stop doing. Because they say, hey, my friend or anybody, neighbors, other person, or like Bill Gates just started a journey of him to become a billionaire, or started a Microsoft just because he was from a great rich family, but I'm not having, and I want that thing. And my parents are not doing for me that thing. And that's why they don't even start. And they always just dive in this misconception that I'm not from rich family, I'm not having the financial condition, because this is a major issue for most of the people. That's why I'm not able to do. I'm not able to start a business. I'm not able to come up with that idea. And even still, there's a problem. It's not that ideas are not coming to you. You have created that barrier in your mind that I'm not having great financial condition, so I cannot do it. It's the barrier in your mind, and that's why you can't think abroad that. And that's what. But if I tell you the truth of this world, then it is that. No matter how worse your situation is, how bad your situation is, but understand, somebody somewhere was there who started with even more worse condition than you. But now that person is living an incredible life, a luxurious life, and even created a huge change in this world and achieved so much. And even this thing I do not even have to tell you, because this list of examples are there in this world who were from middle class family, who were from poor family, who were adopted actually, who were beaten actually by their parents, who was to just go to clean houses, or they were just used to work as a maid, and now they're like at the greatest position, leaders. just be thankful of whatever you have. I know it might sound a very basic thing, but you have to. Because there's a public speaker who's earning a great, when there's a public speaker, an international public speaker, an inspiring public speaker whose name is Nick, who doesn't have his both arms, both legs. Can you imagine a situation when you aren't having your both arms, both legs? It's so hard to walk. It's so hard to even eat. It's so hard to dress up. And even just because of that thing, you can't do many things. Like drawing, painting, writing. Many things are there. By hands you can enjoy, do, play, what not. But just because of them, you can't. And it's really very tempting when you see that other people are just walking, running, what not they're doing, but you won't have the legs to just run and do. And that person is a motivational speaker, international public speaker, and actually charge from $50,000 to $100,000 for just single event. And that's what's the thing you have to be grateful of and learn from him, that he's not having both of his arm, both of his leg, but still imagine the condition of that guy. Courage. And that's what you have to adapt it. First you have to be so grateful that you are having such thing, proper eyes, proper hair, proper skin, no disease you're having, healthy body you're having such a great house, such a great surrounding, food, parents, what not. You have to be grateful, because you only understand the true value of a particular thing when it's gone, completely gone. And lots of times you must have seen children who were crying when their parents are actually died. It's a really, really deep thing. Why? Because at that point, they actually get to know what kind of support they were having when their parents were dead, what contribution which their parents have given to their life. And they just literally cry. You just see them for once. But when their parents were dead, they didn't value them. And for that thing, well, you have to be grateful. Why grateful? How it benefit you? Let me just tell you. When you be grateful for something, you know what? When you're not grateful for something, you generally do not realize that, hey, you also have this. You're having hands, you're having proper legs, but when you see a particular person isn't having, and just because of not having a single hand, single arm, that person is not able to do that particular thing. And when you realize you're able to do that thing, and that's actually so great. And then you actually realize the value of it. And even when you be grateful for every little thing, you be so grateful, you grab such a great energy, and just because of it, you just come up with a more great idea, broad idea. Why? Just because of this thing. Starts to make more great decisions. You just start to come up with more great ideas, and even you stop making those excuses that you do not have this. Rather, it starts to be so happy, starts to be so grateful about whatever you have. It doesn't mean that, hey, you have to be like, oh, I have this, I'm so happy, I do not want to achieve more. No, you're grateful for what you have, but you're also focused what you want to achieve. And that's what you have to understand. If I give you the summary or a basic takeaway which you can take from this video, by which you can actually create a massive change, is here. Number one thing, don't make decision based on your circumstances, make decision based on your vision. Be futuristic, visionary. And second thing, build unshakable confidence. Then you will say that, hey, I watched the entire video, but still I'm not able to understand where was the thing of unshakable confidence. Because imagine the time of Gandhi. Imagine the time of Steve Jobs launching a phone and just having that belief to have that freedom. If you don't have that confidence, you won't gonna able to handle that criticism. that discouraging words of people. You'll be just thinking that, hey, whatever people are saying is saying right. Why I'm saying that? Let me just tell you. You must have seen those students who are doing suicide and have the pressure of people, relatives, teachers pressing them to just study particular thing. A lot of cases are found. Students were preparing for NEET, JEE, and they do not want to do that. People, they want to do something else, but just because of pressure, they weren't able to do, and they committed a suicide. Because they weren't having that unshakable confidence on their true abilities and just ignore the side thing. So that's what you have to build, because whenever you want to take any decision, anything you want to do, any challenge you want to take up, you need to have that. You need to have that unshakable confidence. Otherwise, your idea will be killed before even it's born. Your idea will be killed even before it's born. So you need to understand this thing. If you would have, at least it would come out. So that's the second thing. And third thing is be grateful. I've explained to you why and how. So these are the three things. I hope